Hey class, welcome to week 2 of your digital photography course. This is composition week. So the assignments due for the week are you're going to read all these articles that I have down here. Your first discussion post will be due on Wednesday, and then you should have a follow-up comment or at least continue the discussion, and I'm hoping to maybe close the discussion by Friday. So get a few comments up there and try and have a discussion within your group. And then Sunday is the submit you 5 photos for this week, which I know is a little bit of a lot, but you'll see that the assignment itself lends to more photos than less. There will be weeks where you're only supposed to submit a couple, but this one will be all right, I think. Okay, so here's your famous photo. This I found online yesterday. It is the first photograph ever, apparently. And if you read this little description, 1825, obviously a horse and its owner. I don't know if it was actually I can't quite understand what this is. Maybe some of you more art people know what some of these things are. Sorry, I just clicked. But first photograph, kind of cool. Okay, so now here's your articles. You can see that there's 10 different composition rules that I want you to be aware of, most of which you might already know, but just read through that article. It should only take a few seconds. Here's a tip for you on just cropping in general. Try and get rid of the sky if you do think it's sort of I don't know, interfering. You can see the difference between these two photos. It's pretty clear that leaving the sky out is a good thing. So if you can, maybe you should. Another thing is the negative space. Negative space is a great way to enhance your subject. So read that article. That'll be a good one. So I just want to talk slightly about composition. I'll just go to my blog here. Here's my latest post. Maybe some of you have seen it. So I'm going to draw I'm going to draw a grid around this. Attempt to draw some straight lines here. Not too bad so far. Okay, so I'm going to split this up into ninths. 9 equal segments, not all boxes or not all squares, but rectangles, and picture that those are all the same size. So what researchers have found, not photographers, researchers, they have found that if they follow a human eye when looking at a photograph, the human eye does not look here. And in fact, if it does look there, it doesn't stay there. The human eye focuses on these 4 points. That's what research has shown. So if we place our subjects on those intersections, that's where the photograph will be most effective, the subject will be most effective, and people's eyes will stay there. So let's just roll down through some of my photos. You can see here I've placed this little soccer player right there on this vertical line, and he's pretty much from start to finish on those 2 intersections. We'll go through and see what else I've done. You can see that this man also on the on that third, it's called the rule of thirds. Sorry if I didn't mention that. And same thing with this woman. And this one is a little bit different because I've got 2 subjects, but notice that I kept everything out of the middle and then put both of the sides on these vertical third lines. Same thing here, not maybe exactly on, but it's still as good as I could do, but it definitely does lend to that third sector. The boat right on that line, and the dock here in this bottom sector. Same with the starfish, and I guess that's all I need to do. I don't know why the rest of it isn't coming up. Okay, so let's go back to our blog, or haiku, talk about the rest of the assignment. So just think about that rule of thirds when you're placing your subjects, and try and do it before you're cropping and not after. It'll help you in the long run. So let's go back to haiku. Now the discussion for the week is something we need to talk about, because what I'm having you do is and you know this, I'm having you post your photos to a WordPress blog. And WordPress is open to everyone, open to the entire world. So in theory, 7 billion people have access to these photographs. My question to you is, given the fact that you're going and taking pictures of people, is that right that you upload their photo to the internet? Do you think it's okay to be doing that? And something I wanted to show you was this girl here. First post, my first blog post, I took this photo a few weeks ago. One of my favorite photos I've ever taken. Not to be, it's the best photo, but I love the fact that this hair is swooping over her eyes, and I also love that she is eating a lollipop. And to me, that's just that was a great opportunity for me. She literally lives in a dump. Like, her home is a landfill, and these parts, her home here was made from parts in the landfill here in Jakarta, one of the biggest landfills in the world. But is it right that I just posted this beautiful little girl's photo on the internet, and she has no idea I've done so? She has no idea that hundreds and hundreds of people have already seen her face. And even though her mom let me take a photo of her, I asked her mom, can I take a photo? She said yes. The daughter said yes. Did they really know what they were agreeing to? And that's the question. Is it right? And maybe they wouldn't have agreed. Maybe they don't even know what the internet is. But if they did, would they have agreed? And I didn't ask, even though, or I didn't tell them. I did ask, but I didn't tell them entirely what I was going to do with the photo. So your discussion is to see if that's right. Just discuss it. Obviously, we're doing it. Are there any laws about this? Maybe you could do a little bit of research. If you're in an open area like a park or downtown, is it all right for you to be taking photos of people? So just do a little bit of research and add that to your discussion, and I'll see how you do. Here's a question for you. This photograph obviously adheres to the rule of thirds. This man is perfectly on it. You see this spiral, that's actually called the golden ratio. I'm a math teacher, so I deal with this quite a bit. But my question to you is this the greatest sports photo of all time? And this article argues that it is. So I just want you to answer the question. Is it maybe not the greatest, but is it as great as they say it is? Or is it just a really good crop job? I mean, really the only thing that's making this happen is this arm is up. But granted, this is actually quite an amazing photo. So what's your opinion? Just curious. And then your assignment for the week. Your assignment for the week is to create something from nothing. And what I mean by that is, if you read this statement here, photographers' portfolios that really impress us are those photographers who consistently make the extraordinary from the ordinary. Those photographers that find gems in their living room, in the ditch on the side of the highway, or in any location that would pass most of us up. These guys are true artists. And this was written by a blogger that I follow. So your job is to take 5 photographs, or submit 5. You'll probably take more than 5. Boring objects, just things that you see every day or you pass up, and then just try and take a different look at them and see if you can make them look better than they actually are, better than they are in real life. And then this task should help you develop an eye for seeing things that you normally wouldn't. It'll also help you with compositions, because these things aren't going to move if they're truly just objects. So I went ahead and did this one myself. See if I can bring this one up. Here's my draft. Click preview. Okay, I can't guarantee that I'll always have some examples for you, because my wife's 8 months pregnant, but I did get a chance to go out for an hour or 2 yesterday and take some photos. So this is a photo of a, what would it be, a telephone pole, and this was the control box on the side. I noticed it was open. I also noticed this green, or the red, the paint that's seeing through. It's obviously been painted over white. Anyways, I noticed this crack, and I thought it was really cool, so I took a photo of it, edited it a little bit. But that's obviously nothing. I've never even noticed the pole before, let alone the box, and I thought that was pretty cool. Next one was some flower petals that I just saw on a grill or grate, sewer grate, and I used the rule of thirds again here to frame it a little bit better, but you can see it's really gritty here. It's obviously scooter tire tracks, but some flowers had fallen from the night before, and I thought that was nice. Next one's probably my favorite one, which is my kitchen sink, and I just splattered some water on the faucet and let it run a little bit and saw if I could get as symmetric as possible. But that's definitely a something from nothing. And different view of that. You can see here this is a nice leading line, one of the composition elements that you'll read about. I stopped the water, so there were some drips there. Something I read about here, but I'm just going to mention, it's pretty common you'll see faces or heads. The top of the head will be chopped off. Photographers do this because of this leading line is a little bit too strong, so it definitely does lead you from front to back. But in order to keep your eye centered around here, they chop off the top so it doesn't lead you too much. And the same thing with the top of a portrait. You'll stay on the eyes and in the face more if the top of the head is just cut off a little bit. So you'll just try and notice that. Next one is a wall with a shadow on it. Rule of thirds again. Here's another faucet out in front of my house. I thought this was nice. This is actually my shirt shining through here. I had a red shirt on. And I added this slight vignette to the side here. You can kind of see it, and I made a video on this, which is below the assignment block. So check that one out. And here's a palm leaf. I'm not sure this is technically a something from nothing because it is kind of cool as it is. But anyways. And then I saw a little frog while I was taking photos, so I decided to take a photo of him as well, which doesn't really count. He's already something. But so here's my 5. Okay, so let's go back to haiku. So that's your assignment for the week. Try and make something from nothing. Just use things in your house or in your apartment or anything you think could be made interesting. I made 2 videos for you on some Photoshop basics. This is in CS6, but it should work for CS5 or 4 or 3. This first one is just how to crop, and then I also used a couple adjustment layers. You can see them here. Talk about the histogram a little bit. I'll go into more depth next week when we do light and exposure. But this is a good thing, a good little video here. And the next one is a vignette, which adds a slight sort of darkness to the border. And you can make it as custom as you want. You can do none on the top and all on the bottom. I know a lot of software and programs will do a vignette for you, but you can't customize it like you can in Photoshop. So check that one out if you're interested in adding a vignette to your photograph. And that's about it. So good luck. Read my blog post. Thank you to everyone from last week for getting those blogs in on time and the critiques. Those were fantastic critiques. It's exactly what I was hoping for. So have a good week.